Hello, welcome to the Wednesday night chat. I did not think that I was going to have a chat tonight, and here is the reason why. Since last Friday, I have had major pain right here, and it was caused by a wisdom tooth, my lone remaining wisdom tooth that lay dormant for decades decided it's time that it want to drop down into my jaw and trying to squeeze in, and that's not gonna work, and it has created major pains um, on my entire left side of my face when I'm talking like this. Just as in my hello who dad, just as in my chat on Sunday, when I'm talking like this there is no pain, but rest but I literally cannot open my mouth wide enough to even bite a sandwich. It is extremely painful right here. Of course, I scheduled an appointment that was supposed to be today. So the pain started Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Of course, Monday was a holiday. So the specialist was not working. So yesterday, luckily, I was able to book an appointment with a specialist to extract an oral surgeon to extract this wisdom tooth right here. But when I went to his office today, the plan was this afternoon, have it done, suffer tonight and tomorrow, and then hopefully everything will return to normal by Friday. But when I show up to the oral surgeon and he examined my face and my jaw and all that stuff, the to make it short, there's too much inflammatory going on right here, too much pain going on right here, and I cannot open my mouth wide enough for the operation. So he prescribed a bunch of, some kind of antibiotic for me to take in order to let the swelling, you can't really see, but trust me, it's quite painful right here. So hopefully the antibiotic will uh, allow me, hello simplify coming guys, so allow me to open my mouth wider. So finger crossed, I took the medicine, the first dose of the antibiotic. um, I have been miserable the past 4 days. For anyone that have it's not really a toothache, it's more like a jaw ache because the wisdom tooth is trying, a mosquito, excuse me, um, uh, a wisdom tooth is trying to come out. So the plan is, if this thing, damn it, I keep missing the mosquito. um, so I have been on a liquid soup diet for the past 2 or 3 days because I can't really chew anything. uh, um, just miserable. Scrambled eggs, soup, uh, and potato chips. Yes, the potato chip is thin enough that I can slide it in there and chew, and doesn't bother me. But I had all four of my wisdom tooth taken out. That, yeah, I don't. Um, in all honesty, it's been so long that I don't remember why I took these three out and left this one in. I I don't remember. Yeah, most people, I think I heard that often, that people get all four taken out. I have many my siblings, um This one, maybe because it was like really high, it's really difficult. The oral surgeon today did one of those fancy X-ray, panoramic X-ray, where the X-ray machine go all around my head. And he looked at it, it's like, wow, that one is have a long roots, it's deep, it's way up there. It's not gonna be easy. Okay, it's not gonna be easy. Maybe that's why it was not done decades ago. My memory is not. I don't recall why we did not take all four out. But now that we have these issues, maybe that's why. So hopefully, if I'm lucky, and the swelling, the tightness in my jaw subside, then Friday he will do me a favor and work late and squeeze me in Friday night and take it out so that I can heal over the weekend. If not, I have to wait until next Tuesday. So I had to deal with this for another 4 or 5 days. Yes. So if you don't see me, if you don't see a live chat next Wednesday, that means that I had my surgery done on my wisdom tooth next Tuesday night. Because if it's done next Tuesday at 4:30, as it's supposed to be, I won't be yapping. Oh, they break into little pieces. Could be. I don't know. I don't know what their plans are. All I know was today, they took the big X-ray, they examined my wisdom tooth, and he said it's gonna be a hard one. It's way high, way deep, way big, way long roots. Oh, the bad news. I would love to do that. Hey, JLS. Hello, Jorge. Yeah, I would love to. I mean, if it was done on the day where Anthony was free, I would have asked him to come along and videotape it. I already promised Anthony that I will ask the surgeon to save the wisdom tooth to bring it home to show him how gnarly that tooth is going to look like. It's going to be big and nasty. So only 7 people watching. Oh, that's okay. Monk's Den is here as well. Okay, so as far as news, no news going on with me beside my bad tooth. I started to watch River based on RES recommendation. So far, so good. I watched the first 3 episodes. Intriguing. I like it. It's not. Is it the best show ever? No, but I enjoy it. So far, so good. I'm telling you, I'm a huge fan of this kind of show. It doesn't have to be fast paced. It lay down the foundation for the mystery, and then slowly feed you pieces by piece and see if you can figure it out. That's my kind of show. So I enjoyed it very much. So far, thank you, Raz, for the recommendation. I watched the first 3 episodes so far, and so far, so good. Speaking of show that binge watch, Narco is on Netflix. Season 2 is on. Wow, I binged through the first 4 episodes of that. Fantastic. I love season 1. So for those that know that show, season 2 is on. And Who Dat? We were wrong. Hero for Hire, Luke Cage show won't be on Netflix until the end of September, not the first week of September. I was wrong. So that's still on. The plan is me, Who Dat, and Raz is going to figure out how to do like a tag team collaboration between the 3 of us to do a review of the seasons of Luke Cage. Yes, Deadpoolica Instagram. Yes, the end of September. So we have to wait another 23 days. 23 days is gonna be fast. Okay, time flies. Narcos, yes, fantastic show. I love Narco. I like the fact that Narco is using mostly non-American actors, and everybody speak Spanish, Portuguese. I'm not sure the language that they spoke, but I like it. I like it. Add realism to the show. Okay, whenever I see a show in foreign land and everybody speak English, it's stupid. So kudos for Netflix to take that kind of risk to make a show using foreign actors and using subtitle. It works for me. It's perfect. I love it. I just love it. It's a great show. Yes, it's about Pablo Escobar. I remember Pablo Escobar. I mean, I came to the US in 1980, and I remember well through the mid 80s where, Escobar was the talk. He was the original kingpin. Oh, well, I'm not sure who the original kingpin is, but he was the kingpin of the 80s. That clone went through the whole season in 2 days. I went through 4 episodes. Four so far. So far, fantastic. I love it. I know it's a docudrama, as they call it, because it's not, not everything is. I'm sure it's sensationalized. Okay, it's sensation. It's TV, but still, it is fun TV to watch. Yes, Simplify. Pan's Labyrinth is a very good movie as well. One of Del Toro earlier movie. I like Del Toro a lot. I'm not sure what his next project is now that he's not doing Justice League Dark. For a while, he was supposed to do Justice League Dark, but he's off the project and somebody else is doing Justice League Dark. So I'm not sure. And for a while, he was supposed to do Pacific Rim, the sequel, and then he's off Pacific Rim, the sequel. So I'm not sure what the heck is going on with Del Toro. JLS in the house. Hello. A lot of folks from Florida today. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Del Toro. It's too bad that the Hellboy franchise was, Hellboy is well loved by the hardcore fanboy, comic fanboy, but outside the comic fanboy, for some reason, it's not really a big hit with the non-comic viewer. It's the shame that that franchise, those two movies didn't do better because they were. I like the first one a lot. The second one, but financially, both movies did not do very well at all. That's why you haven't seen or will never see Hellboy 3. I mean, the revenue for Hellboy 1 and Hellboy 2 were terrible. It's too bad. I like them. Have you ever seen any of Sam Raimi film? Jorge asked. Besides Spider-Man, I feel his best film is A Simple Plan. It really showed Raimi could do drama. A Simple Plan. That sounds familiar. Educate me, Jorge, what A Simple Plan is. I'm sure I've seen it. The name sounds very familiar, but I just can't remember what it is about. Army of Darkness. Huh. Sam, I have seen Sam Raimi work, but on top of my head, I cannot remember the name of the other movies that he did beside the Spider-Man movie. The Spider-Man movie, my favorite Spider-Man movie to date in the second movie. I thought the second movie was a very, very, very good movie. I put it up there in my top 5 favorite superhero movies, as far as Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock. Oh yes, Jorge. Now that you bring in Billy Bob Thornton and Bill Paxton, yes, I seen that. Yeah, that is far from Spider-Man. Yeah, it's a crime thriller kind of movie. I like it. Like I said, I'm a big fan of crime thriller uh, over superhero. I'm telling you, the older I have become, the more I appreciate thriller, detective, crime, film noir, you name it. When I was younger, in my teenage years, in my 20s, it was all about action. Okay, I can't get enough of action movies in the 80s and the early 90s. But over the past 10 years, I have grown, I have changed. My tastes have mutated where I enjoy thriller, crime thriller, mystery. Um, it worked for it. It stimulate my mind a heck of a lot more than pure action. Have you ever seen Evil Dead 2? That was the film that convinced me he was perfect for Spider-Man 1. I have seen Evil Dead. I do not remember seeing Evil Dead 2. They Live. I like that, Simplify. You bring out some hidden gems, as I call it. Speaking of movie, is there any movie news? I don't think there is any movie news this past week that I did not mention. I'm sure other channels has already um, talk about if there is anything. I don't. This past few days I have been preoccupied with my face and my jaw. Hello, Goomba. Nice horse videos. I just saw your latest one earlier today. Let's see. Football season is back, so I'm somewhat excited about that. As you all may know already, I am. Ooh, they offered Daniel Craig 150 millions. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that he hates playing James Bond. I don't know what's the problem is. From everything that I read, I'm surprised that he want to walk away from playing James Bond, because I think he did a great job. The the movie was for the most part okay, if not better than okay. I liked 2 out of the 4 movies that he made, Bond movies. The 2 that I didn't like weren't terrible; they were average. I give them 7 out of 10. But the 2 that I liked, I give it 8.5 out of 10. So, Southern Bastard movie is a done deal. Really? Hot book alerts. Or is it too late? Yes, Layer Cake is a good movie. I like Layer Cake a lot. It's I always, maybe it's me. I always have to me, it's almost like I need to see the British film twice to really enjoy it, because the first time I watch a British film, I find that sometimes the heavy accent was hard for me to comprehend every word. It's just my it's not it's just my ears. Okay, it's not that the movie was the dialogue is bad or anything else. It's my ear is not trained to hear the British accent, and it took me a little bit longer to decipher what they say. So whenever I watch a film like Layer Cake, I had to see it twice to really get it. Same thing with Snatch. You name it. Every time I watch a good British film, I need to see it twice to fully digest. Will Blade Runner work? You mean War Dogs? I want to see that. I was skeptical about War Dogs, but the more I heard about the movie, the more intrigued I am to give it a shot. It's kind of like loosely based on true story. I always like any kind of movies that based on some truth. Okay, because it's interesting. It's interesting to see those kind of movies more than total fictions. I like Blade Runner. One of my it's hard to say Blade my favorite movie. I enjoy Blade Runner. It was something different for me. Um, I has always felt that it was I would say Ridley Scott best. Alien has always been Ridley Scott best for me, and I am praying that the Alien, the Prometheus sequel that he's doing is going to be good. Please, please. I like I like Goomba saying nobody could understand Snatch. It's hard, I mean, I can admit that. Whenever I watch a movie like Snatch or Layer Cake or any movie with uh, all British, Irish, Scottish actors, holy cow, do I have a hard time understanding the dialect. Speaking fast, fast Irish accent. Ooh, the ears have a hard time translating. Yeah, Prometheus had a lot of promise, and boy, was I watched the movie, and it left a lot to be desired as far as potential. It has potential. That's the way I look at Prometheus. Is the movie has a lot of potential. It was poorly executed in many many ways. I was very bummed. I was extremely excited about that movie, and when I left the movie theater, I'm just like, what the heck happened there? It's one of those movies where you left it and just like, God, how can they mess that up? How can Ridley Scott mess that up? But then it's not the first movie that he messed up. Exactly. Huge opportunity thrown away. Huge. It's one of those. I put Prometheus as probably my biggest disappointment in the past 5 years. If anybody say what's the biggest disappointment in the past 5 years, I would put Prometheus up there, even above Batman versus Superman. But yeah, I had to say that I so look forward to Prometheus, and boy, did it fell very. It was frustrating. The problem with Prometheus was it was not, to me, it was not horrible. It was not bad. It was just frustrating to see the potential not fully realized because of many not so good decisions. Episode one for Jorge is the biggest disappointment. Ooh, yeah, that had to go back to 10 years. I agree. Dead clone. That's why it's one of the. That's why I haven't given up on Prometheus. It's fresh. That's why I have never say Prometheus suck. Prometheus was a movie that it wasn't bad. It has so much potential, and it was just a few little pieces here and there that could have made the movie awesome. And it's just frustrating to watch that movie and see that it just fell short. There's a fine line between great and below average or average. And that's what Prometheus did for me. There was just a few things that would have catapulted the movie into great, but man, there was just a few too many little things that knocked it all the way down to average. But yeah, I agree with Jorge that if I go back 10, 15 years, yeah, episode 1 of Star Wars, talking about this, that movie was highly anticipated. I actually went to that movie on the first showing at like midnight on opening day. I was one of those hardcore fan that stand in long lines and see that movie on the opening night at the midnight showing or late night showing. Me and a bunch of my friends, and boy, the funny thing was after we left the movie theater, not none of us wanted to admit that it was bad. We all kind of just like, oh, I'm not sure. Years later, we admitted that it was not a good movie, not a good movie. But at the time, none of us was willing to admit that it was not a good movie. Not when not right after we saw the movie. Jorge, I agree with you on the fridge scenes. That fridge scenes was, whew, when I saw that fridge getting blown up and in the inside the fridge, I'm just like, okay, this is getting into that stupid area of the movie. That clone, you said the greatest disappointment was the last episode of Lost. Huh. Interesting. See, I would differ with you there. I thought the last episode of Lost was actually very good. I actually cried. I was not disappointed on the last episode of Lost. I was disappointed on most of the season before the last season. I thought Lost went one season too long. Okay, I enjoy Lost a lot, but I thought next to the last season, the fifth season or whatever it is, was complete waste of time. There was one season too long for the show Lost. They could have ended one season earlier because there was a lot of garbage filled in that mean nothing, ties into nothing, that make no sense. Yeah, for me, that was a bigger problem with the show Lost was the second to last season. Total garbage for me. I recommend most of my friends that have never seen the show to skip the second to last season because you're not going to miss much. Last episode of Dexter was kind of disappointing. Creepy show. Creepy show, my friend. That show gave me the creep. When I watched Dexter on Netflix, I was able to binge through Dexter on Netflix, and wow, that show gave me the creeps. But for sure, the last season, the last episode, did disappoint me in many, many ways. That clone, I agree. To me, the last two seasons of Lost, especially what, as I mentioned, the second to last season of Lost was garbage to me. The last season was not good either. I just felt that the ending was okay, um, to wrap it up, but it's in many things. It's in comic books. It's in many movies. The third act seemed to be a huge problem for many writers. Most writers have very good first act, decent second act, but when it comes down to third act, something go wrong. We see this in comic books. Just look at Silver Age comic books. If you read Fantastic Four or any majority of Marvel Silver Age, I can't say DC Silver Age because I don't have a lot of DC Silver Age to compare and contrast. But when I read Marvel Silver Age, especially like Spider-Man or Fantastic Four or X-Men or Avengers, many storyline suffer from bad or rush or poor third act. The ending of the story was always so rushed. You know, you can have this big build-up of the first 18 page, and then the villain is defeated on the last two page. And the same thing with movies. I have seen so many movies that open good, everything's going well, and then the last 10, 15 minutes fell apart. I have many movies have completely fell apart in the last 15 to 20 minutes. Many. So I'm not a writer, okay? So I can't say why that is. For me, I have seen many failures on the last act of whether it's a comic book, a story, a novel, or a movie. Jorge asks, Nick, favorite Ron Howard movie? Hmm. Hmm. I like Apollo 13 a lot. Hmm. I would have to think about that. Uh, Definitely not the recent one where he did the from the book Gods and Demon, and not that series with Tom Hanks and those best-selling novels. I didn't care for those movies. I thought they were weak. The book were great. I bought all of the books. I read the books, but when I go see the movie with Tom Hanks, as big of a Tom Hanks fan as I were, I thought those movies were lackluster. Rush, Rush, Willow, Da Vinci Code. Thank you, Ancient Internet Troll. Yeah, the Da Vinci Code was a fun book to read. I think I read through the Da Vinci Code book faster than any novel I have ever read. I literally blow through that book over the weekend. And then I read the Gods and Demons and the third one. They're okay. They're not as good as Da Vinci Code. But somehow the movies just didn't do it for me. They're not bad movie. Okay, they're just not good. Yes, Simplify guy. A lot of fan theories on Stranger Things. I have been watching a lot of videos on the Stranger Things cast interview. Wonderful bunch of young kids. It's fun to see them in interviews and how they act. They're kids. Let's not forget they are kids. They behave like kids, and they acted like kids, which is great. I didn't realize that that 11, the lead actress, was British until I saw all the interviews on YouTube where she spoke with the British accent. What I think of Ridley Scott Legend? Legend. Is that the one with Tom Cruise and the demon with the big horns? It was okay. I remember seeing, if that's the one, if I'm correct, Jorge, that's the one. Um, I thought it was okay. I have only seen it twice. Once on the big screen and once on cable TV. Um, I thought Legend was okay. It'd been so long. It'd been so long since I saw it. It was a young Tom Cruise. I don't think he was bad. I thought the demon was awesome looking. Okay, first off, the as with any Ridley Scott movie, the visual of that demon with a big red horn was just awesome. What was wrong with that movie? What was the problem of the Legend that didn't? Huh. I don't know. I might have to sit through it and watch it again. I just know that um, I like Tom Cruise. I like the demon. I didn't care for the supporting cast as far as those elf or um, uh, whatever supporting cast, little elf or all those little guys that help out Tom Cruise. Or there was a lot of things that I didn't like about the movie, and it's not about Tom Cruise, the demon, or the princess. It was the other characters. Kenshi. Whiplash. Yes, I saw Whiplash. Fantastic movie. I try not to say simple movie. It's hard for. I don't want to use the word simple. It's not a simple movie, but I like it. It pull no punches. It doesn't. It get to. It's one of those movies that get to the point fairly quickly, and you can't help but want to root for the kid, and it's a good movie. I think if you have for those that involved in music, as I was brought up playing the violin, and you're in an environment where there's a lot of drive for success, to succeed. I'm sure many can relate to the passion, the drive, the sacrifices, all that stuff. So I like the movie. I like the movie a lot. I thought it was a very well done movie. I don't have the right word to use for it. I wouldn't call that movie a simple movie or a simple message, but to me, there's something short and sweet about the message of that movie. Jorge, yes, very tight script. I like movies. I like TV shows that doesn't have a lot of wasted characters with wasted dialogue. Okay, that's my biggest gripe and complaint with movies or TV shows that I don't like, is that I found that there's just too much fluff going on, too many secondary nonsense that have no real need to be on the screen. So when I see a show or movie that's tight, I love it, and that's why I'm a huge fan of many Netflix show, because they are operate on a tight budget. They don't have money and time to waste on fluff. Every scenes count, every characters count. Okay, you're not gonna have a whole lot of characters saying a whole lot of stuff that make no sense. Uh, that's not needed. Okay, that's what's wonderful about many Netflix show. Is it's tight in for the most part. Not perfect. It's not perfect, but that's the way I like my movies and TV shows. Thelma and Louise. That's Jorge's favorite Ridley Scott. Mine would have to go with Alien. I can't get enough of the movie Alien. I watch it so many times. It's just so. It to me, it's a perfect horror movie. It is to this day. I still love it. I have seen it a million times, and it never get old for me. Which one has 98% Rotten Tomato? Yes, Dead Clone. HBO, Netflix are very good. Even Amazon, so I haven't seen every Amazon produced show. For some reason, some of the show that they produces does not interest me. Even though they may have won awards and have acclaims and all that stuff, I just don't find them interesting enough for me to watch. But for the few shows that Amazon have produced, I can say that they stood right up there with Netflix as far as really, really good shows. Oh, 98% for It Follows. Okay. The Tick. Now, I heard about The Tick. Is The Tick comic books getting hot? I had the first issue. I heard they're bringing back The Tick. So I don't know. I have the first issue laying around somewhere. I had the first. I think I have all. Well, maybe not all. I bought The Tick off the rack back in the day. Jack Reacher. The teaser so far didn't do much for me. I like the first movie. I give the first movie a 7.5 out of 10. It was entertaining. It's typically Tom Cruise. It's Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise. It's hot at the moment. You mean Tick number one is hot? Ooh, jump 70%. I have a copy. From what I recollect, Tick number one have two versions, right? You have the white version and then the black version. I'm surprised. Well, I'm not sure right now. I haven't followed the Tick value, but for a long time, I thought the white number one was worth more than the black number one, which makes no sense to me. For those that understand, educate me. Because I thought the black cover for issue number one is hard as hell to find in high grade. So I'm surprised that for a long, long time, the white covers was worth more. Is that mean because the white cover came out before the black covers? I don't know. I wish he would direct more film. Who are you talking about, Jorge? Or are you talking about Luc Besson? Now, Transporter was a very good movie, the very original. Even Transporter 2 was watchable. After that, no. I have seen all the Transporter movie. Why the last one? Don't ask me why. It was horrible. But I thought the first Transporter was good. The second Transporter, decent follow up for a sequel. The third one, garbage. The fourth one, below garbage, if there is such a thing. Fifth Element, the worst part about Fifth Element though is Chris Tucker. I enjoyed the movie, but every time I watch the movie, I cringe. I cringe at Chris Tucker. What the F was he doing in that movie? Am I the only one that found him to be completely miscast in that movie? That character, that character shouldn't even be in the movie. He was the worst part. That movie would have been a lot better if he was not in the movie, but he was in the movie. Now, I liked him in Rush Hour with Jackie Chan, the first Rush Hour. So he was okay. See, Chris Tucker has potential in certain movie role, but Fifth Element make no sense whatsoever. No sense whatsoever for me. I just saw the time. It's 7:50. That means that this chat will be over in about 10 minutes or so. So feel free to chat, ask any question you want, but it will be over in 10 minutes. And for those that are late to the show, if you don't see a live chat from me next Wednesday, it is because I went to have a surgery on my wisdom tooth, and I will be out of commission for a couple of days. It was supposed to be done today at 1 o'clock, but my mouth is so swollen that the surgeon could not open my mouth wide enough to extract my wisdom tooth. So he gave me medicine to alleviate those swollen, relax the muscle in order for me to be able to open my mouth wider so that they can do the surgery next Tuesday. That's the plan. I had to suffer through this nonsense for another 5 days. Not looking forward to that. I can talk, but eating. Mercy. Who's here? Carl on bass is here. Carl, you made it near the end. Merc with a mouth. Are you guys having your weekly Wednesday chat shortly? Rez is here. Rez, thank you for recommendation on River. I have watched the first 3 episodes of River, enjoying it. So thank you. And Rez, have you finished Daredevil? That's the question. Scott is here. OMG, Scott. Custom Brumstar. Scott, the OG, one of the OG. Jesus, everyone is coming in late. I should announce that the show will be over. It seems like every time I announce the show is going to be over in 10 minutes or so, it seems like there's a rush of people. Oh, well, hopefully GPAP can host it so that you and Undisputed Frost can have your chat. Oh, Jeff G, you're right on the remake of Ben-Hur. Yes, I heard the bad news on Ben-Hur, and I'm just like, who thought that was a good idea? Let's remake Cleopatra. Let's remake the Ten Commandments. There are movies that really should be left alone. The Sound of Music, The Wizard of Oz. What a Wonderful Life. You name it. There are so many. There are a ton of movies that should not be remade. Back to the Futures. I have heard rumors that they might do something like that. Please don't. Please don't. Yes, Rez. So what do you think, Rez? Are you in the camp that say that season 2 Daredevil is better than season 1? Scott said, I am OG. Original Geeks. Hey, that works too. Where the geek flag with pride. Forgerelli, Willy Wonka. Yes, I'm telling you, when I saw that Willy Wonka with Johnny Depp, albatross, albatross, and just, but people like it. People like it because that movie make a ton of money. Make enough money that they make a sequel. Did they make a sequel to Willy Wonka with Johnny Depp and it bombed? I think it did, right? I don't remember. All I know was, when I saw the remake with Johnny Depp with Willy Wonka, it was atrocious. Liking the cover is here. Everyone is coming in the last 10 minutes. Yes, Gene Wilder passed away. Big fan of Gene Wilder. Who doesn't like Young Frankenstein? I remember seeing Young Frankenstein like in 1981. Either 81 or 82. Literally 2 or 3 years after I came to America, I can barely speak English. And I remember laughing my butt off watching Young Frankenstein. It was just so brilliant. A classic. A classic. Merck asked, "Hey Nick, I might have to pick your brain about Golden Age books I want to get. Feel free. Hit me up via PM. I'm always around to answer any question people ask me question about. I get all kind of question in private, from grading books to pressing books to how much to pay for something, how much to sell for something, you name it. I get all kind of crazy questions. Well, not crazy question. I get all kind of questions from other YouTubers on YouTube, via PM all the time. And for most of them, I can help. Most of them. Fortunately, hey Nick, I'm getting a tooth pull on Friday. I hope I can. If this thing, the surgeon told me that if I wake up Friday morning and I can open my mouth wider, give him a call. He's willing to squeeze me in late Friday to extract that wisdom tooth so that I can get rid of this pain a few days sooner. Otherwise, I had to wait until next Tuesday. Well, folks, it's 7:56. The show will end in about 4 minutes. Once again, thank you, everyone. I did not think that I was going to have this show today. I was all set. I was all set to have my tooth extract and lay in bed with some painkillers and just chilling it and watching Narco. I was ready to binge through a few episodes of Narco tonight, but it can't wait. I'm saving. I'm trying my best not to binge through Narco, given the fact that I will have to deal with this tooth extraction. I need something to binge on. So I have more than half of the season of Narco to binge through and 2/3 of a season of River to binge through. So I have some options. Yes, fortunately, tooth pain is not fun. Luckily, I can tell you, I have been pretty blessed with good teeth. I only have one crown, one root canal done. I don't really have. I have 2 cavities. This wisdom tooth is a different beast. It's out of my control. It has nothing to do with how I brush my teeth. Nothing to do with hygiene. It's just the way nature works. Yes, who dat? If the tooth come out Friday, most likely no Sunday show. If the Tooth come out next Tuesday, for sure no Wednesday show. So if you see no show Sunday, that means that I lucked out and got my tooth pulled Friday night. But if you see a show on Sunday, that means that I had to suffer a few more days. High Plane Drifter. Leon. Good question. Speaking of Joseph, I made a video about a Sergio Leone movie. So watch out next week. There will be a video on Sergio Leone, one of my favorite all-time Western movies. You will have to wait to see which movie I'm talking about. Yes, Fistful of Dollar, The Good, the Bad, and the Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and Once Upon a Time in the West. A trio. Think about it. 3 great Western movies in a span of about 5 years. The Master, perhaps the greatest spaghetti Western director that we ever had in the late 60s. Yes, Jorge, being a film fan you are, I know a lot of people don't really watch my movie related videos on this channel, which is fine. I love to talk about movies. So I did a new series of video called Must See Movie. And I will talk and discuss movie that I consider must-see movies, okay, on my list. And for sure, one of Sergio Leone is in that. Okay, so I already shot 3 must-see movie videos, so hopefully you will get to see them and enjoy them. It's not for everybody. Not everybody on this channel care to hear what I had to say about movies or TV shows. That's okay. Yul Brynner. Lee Marvin. I'm telling you, Charles Bronson, okay? Cowboy movie with Charles Bronson, badass. Fortunately, agree. Fortunately, being a movie fan that you are, hopefully you will watch my must-see movie series starting next week and give me feedback. I love to hear people talk about movies. Okay, I love movies just as much as I love comic books. So I'm a huge fan of good, great movies. Anyhow, time for me to go. It's 8:01. It's time for me to say goodbye. Thank you, everyone, to be on the show. There were so many people today talking about movies nonstop. So it's a show about movies. Wanted Dead or Alive, best Western TV show ever. Wanted Dead or Alive. Something is not clicking up here for that show. Thank you, Ancient Internet Troll. Thank you, Dead Clone. Fortunately, Jorge, liking the covers, Simplify, Scott, Raz, everybody. Good night, and I hope to see you. Well, if I get the surgery done Friday, and I have all of Saturday to recoup, I might be able to do a show on Sunday. But cross my finger, I want this out. I want this wisdom tooth out of here. Good night. Thank you for watching.